You guys want to hear the third most annoying sound in the world? Hey everybody, this is 22 Tiger Dude and I'm here to review Dumb and Dumber 2. So Dumb and Dumber 2 is the sequel to Dumb and Dumber, a film that came out literally 20 years ago. Holy shit! This literally takes place 20 years after the original. We see that Lloyd has been pulling this 20-year-old prank. After all that's done with, then Harry finds out that he has a long-lost daughter, so Harry and Lloyd go on a road trip just to go find Harry's long-lost daughter. So going into Dumb and Dumber 2, I was just coming and going very skeptical, just expecting a mediocre comedy. However, I did actually really enjoy the first one. I don't think it's a comedy classic like most praise it out to be, but I thought it was a good and very well made comedy movie. And after seeing the sequel, it's actually what I just expected. It's just a mediocre and very forgettable comedy. In my opinion, it is. Positives: Jim Carrey, Jeff Daniels. Both of them together, they're just as fantastic here as they are in the original. Just like with the original, they are the best parts about the sequel. They embrace their characters just as much as they did in the original. Also, I did actually appreciate the callbacks from the original, because knowing that this film is 20 years after the original, you're gonna have to do some kind of callbacks. It was just really enjoyable hearing some of the callbacks. Oh, and especially this dog van. They promote this dog van in the poster, in the trailer, and even in this t-shirt that I got at my screening for Dumb and Dumber 2. You only see the dog van for 10 seconds. So that was kind of a bummer. But yes, they even do callbacks to that, which was nice at least, even though it should have been shown longer. And some of the humor does work for me. There were some jokes that actually had me laughing hard. When there is humor that does work for me, I actually did find myself laughing hard. So I give it credit for at least making me laugh hard in some of the moments, because some of the moments actually did work. Some of the moments felt like Dumb and Dumber. And I will also say Rob Riggle was actually a very nice addition to this movie. I thought Rob Riggle was actually really enjoyable here, and it might be his most enjoyable performance, to be honest. He actually was very enjoyable to watch. And I know people complain about her, and I'm gonna be in the minority when I say this, but I actually liked the daughter in the movie. I thought the actress who played her did a really good job just being dumb. I can understand where some will come from saying how she goes way too overboard, but to me, she honestly had that nice amount of dumb. And for her apparently being Harry's daughter, I thought she did a very well done job. Plus, she's not bad to look at, you guys. Like, wow. I really like the daughter, not just because she's beautiful to look at, but the actress actually did do a good job playing her. And I know I'm in the minority saying that, but she actually did pull off the dumb material for me. Now let's get to my problems with Dumb and Dumber 2. Let's get to the humor, because in my opinion, most of the humor really does not work. And while some of the humor is laugh out loud funny because it focuses on the dumb humor, most of it doesn't work because most of it is actually gross out humor. Gross out humor that goes far too overboard, that feels really forced, and it just really doesn't work. This movie is called Dumb and Dumber 2, not Crude and Cruder 2. And the more it went for the crude humor, the more off it felt. There were even a few moments where it felt like it was rated R because they pushed the crude humor that far. It just really felt off, and it fell flat miserably in my opinion. The storyline is really bland. It really is nothing too special. It's very forgettable. I mean, for a comedy, you don't expect a groundbreaking storyline, but come on, at least be like the original where the storyline actually has my attention. And I also gotta say the third act wow, talking about a very weak third act. The laughs are definitely where the third act really falls more flat to me, and I only found myself maybe laughing twice in the final act of the movie. The third act really doesn't work well with most of the hour. You know, it kind of shifts into something else, and it just really felt out of place. Andrea from The Walking Dead is in this, and she's fine in it. All the other supporting characters are fine in here, but they're not really anything all that important to the storyline. They're just kind of there to really just be there. And it really does run out of steam, because you do feel like along the way the writers do get lost with the jokes, and they really don't know what to come up with as they're writing the script for the movie. I mean, come on, when you have to experience a disgusting and unnecessary scene with Jim Carrey fingering an old woman, yeah, that's when you know the writers are trying way too hard. If you enjoy the sequel, that's fantastic. I really hope you guys do enjoy the sequel, especially if you're a huge fan of the original. The sequel, however, is not my cup of tea. Dumb and Dumber 2 is very forgettable, it's very mediocre, it's very bland, and I could just care less about it. So I'm gonna give Dumb and Dumber 2 2 out of 4 stars. Definitely not very memorable in my opinion. So everyone, in the comments down below, let me know what you think of Dumb and Dumber 2. And also you guys, on Universe of the Blue Tubers, me, Seb, Brian, and J53518 review the original Dumb and Dumber film. It's a collab review, so if you guys want to see my thoughts and everyone else's on the original film, I'm going to leave a link to it in the description below. This is 22 Tiger Dude, and don't forget that I will always have Tiger Power! Dude.